Trump was able to win in 2016, it looks like it has gone back into the Democratic column.
Yes, and the theory of Joe Biden's cases running against all those other Democrats was, I can win in the Midwest, and that's going to be the key to the victory. If it indeed is the key to the victory, then his theory of how to run for president paid off.
All right, we have not projected a winner in the presidential race, but how does this change, Ed O'Keefe, the calculation for Joe Biden and their campaign?
Well, it puts him now on the verge, and as he said just a little while ago in Delaware, he might be back later tonight to address the nation as the president-elect, depending on how the count goes in Arizona and Nevada. We are expecting Arizona to announce results around or a little after 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. And we'll see whether or not we get results from Nevada. It's essentially Clark County, the Las Vegas area. If there's enough there, that gives him 270. We should point out the way he did it in Michigan, winning back union households. He had, of course, spent a lot of time in Michigan talking about the auto industry recovery that he did during the Obama administration, one with women with college degrees and seniors. Those were three key groups that he was after, that we thought initially that this race would really be built around, and he pulled it off in the Wolverine State.
An incredibly tight race as well there. This was not a blowout election. We still have many close races. Want to go right to the map now so that Major Garrett can show us what is the pathway to the White House.
Sure. Let's go through the implications of the call that CBS News has just made, projecting former Vice President Joe Biden as the presumptive winner in Wisconsin. Let's look at the map right now. Let me do that. Michigan. Forgive me, Nora. Let's put that in there right now for the former vice president. That takes it to 253. Current trend lines and outstanding vote and where it's coming from, both in Nevada and Arizona, are leaning toward the former vice president. If you watched what just happened to the electoral map, you saw it go with Michigan and Nevada and Arizona to 270. That doesn't guarantee that's what's going to happen, but that is the current trend lines, not only of the data, but the location of the outstanding vote. Clark County, Nevada, predominantly Democratic. Maricopa County, Arizona, the way that has been breaking has not been substantially enough for President Trump to overcome the lead that Joe Biden currently has in Arizona. But there have been no calls or projections by CBS News in Nevada or Arizona. But if those trend lines continue, then you see 270, even though North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Georgia would remain in the toss-up category. And so that's the most important implication of what just happened, Nora.
So given that we have not called Nevada and Arizona, could you place them back in
let's take them back out, put them in the toss-up category, and look at the map.
Let's look at now Georgia and North Carolina. In each of those states, North Carolina, Trump is leading by 76,000 votes. In Georgia, he's leading by about 83,000.
So let's put those, for the sake of argument, in President Trump's column. Georgia also, and we should catch up because the trend lines in Maine's 2nd Congressional District are definitely for the president, and so they are in Alaska. Then you look at that, 253, 248. It considerably narrows.
What would Trump need in order to win?
Pennsylvania gets him there, but he's got to claw back either Arizona or Nevada. Without clawing back either Nevada or Arizona, even with Pennsylvania, he's still short. That's the importance of Michigan. That's why on this map and in this moment of history and counting, it looms so large.
We should point out the Trump campaign this afternoon has filed a lawsuit to essentially slow the count in Michigan. They've got some concerns about whether Republican observers are being allowed in to see things. They're filing lawsuits in Pennsylvania as well, out of concern there.
They're asking for a recount.
They're asking for a recount in Wisconsin. So they're going to use every legal and bureaucratic maneuver they have to at least slow this down. It appears, in those three states. And there are concerns among Republicans about potential outstanding ballots in Arizona as well, so there's a chance that we may see a legal challenge there.
But, John, have we entered a significant new phase where President Trump's path to a second term has narrowed?
Oh, it's significantly narrowed. And now we're going to see things slosh over between the public relations fight and the legal fight over these ballots, because the president is going to argue in the court of public opinion. You saw him already do it last night, throwing up a lot of things that are incendiary. And that may or may not bounce against what's happening actually in the courts. But we are definitely in a new place because for Joe Biden, nothing succeeds like success. And if the numbers follow where they appear to be going, that's where you want to be as a candidate.
Nora, can I interject real quick?
Yes, you may.
Because there is something that's worth capturing in this moment. The president's campaign says you got to keep counting in Arizona, and yet it says we need to stop counting in Pennsylvania and these other places. There is an inherent inconsistency there that we must hold in front of ourselves to say, what is this moment really about, and what are the trend lines both legally and in the math?
That's an important distinction to make, Major.
And those inconsistencies are the kind of thing, if I'm a Republican politician, do I want to get on the president's side and take this all the way to the end? Or at some point, do other Republicans who may not be on for the kind of fight the president, do they have to make a different political calculation? And that's why the public fight here is as interesting as the legal one.
And we've seen some signs of Republicans today saying, let the votes be counted, let the process play out. Marco Rubio from the state of Florida, which the president won. Rob Portman from the state of Ohio, another state the president won. Both saying, got to respect the process, let it play out, respect the people who are counting the ballots. So there is some distance already being put between Republicans who have longer political futures probably than the president, understanding that, you know, there's a belief in this country that every vote matters.
All right, so just to update everyone, in the last hour, CBS News projects that Joe Biden will be the winner in the state of Michigan and also in the state of Wisconsin. That is significantly narrowing President Trump's path to a second term in office. Our coverage will continue on our 24-hour streaming network, CBSN. There will be more on your local news on this CBS station, and we will have a full wrap-up tonight on the CBS Evening News. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm Norah O'Donnell, CBS News Election Headquarters, New York.